How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the rollback. Got a sweet one for you today. We are in 2015 at Evolution, and the game is Ultra Street Fighter 4, and the matchup is Bonchan Sagat versus Alex Valle Hugo. Now, Bonchan, brief introduction, absolute fighting game legend, was known as the Sagat for most of the Street Fighter 4 era. Played the character to great success throughout the game's lifespan. And on the other side, we have Alex Valle, a legend in his own right, though from, I would say, a different era. At this point in 2015, Valle had taken a step back from the tournament grind, wasn't doing very much international travel, but would still show up to things like Evo, and is, of course, still a force to be reckoned with. Now, the matchup is, on paper, very much in Sagat's favor. He's got the signature high and low tiger shots that interact very favorably with Hugo's enlarged hurt boxes. And then he has the brutal stand roundhouse, which just kind of does it all. It's multi-hitting to blow through some armor moves. It's an anti-air, it stops forward movement. It's just a god button in this matchup in particular. So let's get right into it. Safe tiger knee there. Alright, interesting little interaction. Let's roll this back just a few seconds here. Bonchan catches Valle with a surprise jump in, and where most of the time, especially in Street Fighter 5 and 6, this would be a prime opportunity for Bonchan to press his advantage. In this game, the grapplers like Hugo have two-frame command grabs, and so Bonchan is looking to escape and bait this out here, jump straight up and punish it if it were to come out here. Valle is doing crouch light kick here, which is the, of course, the throw tech option select. He inputs throw while crouching, and if Bonchan were to throw, then the throw would be teched. Otherwise, just crouching light kick comes out like this. It does recover in time to block the second jump roundhouse, though. Sorry for the frame stutter there. Focus attack to dash through the fireball is one tool that Hugo has to get around the zoning. The other one is the clap to move forward. It can also neutralize fireballs if it lands like that. And he has successfully walked Bonchan into the corner here. Okay, another little interaction here. Valle does a good read here on Bonchan using the tiger knee to regain a little bit of space and get out of the corner. Gets just a jump light kick, though, and is maybe a little hesitant here on the combo. Bonchan goes for the invincible reversal uppercut, of course, and cancels it into focus attack. EX focus attack, I should say. And so then what he does here, and what would happen often at high level, is that he charges the focus attack for just a moment here before dash canceling it. And this is Bonchan visually confirming whether or not the uppercut hit or was blocked. On hit, you can see he dashes forward. On block, he would back dash to not make himself safe. They did change it in Ultra Street Fighter 4 to where uppercut FADCs were universally -5 on block, but it happens so fast that if you do block it, you have to be really ready to punish it instantly, and so it's still pretty easy to get away with uppercut FADC backdashes.
Wow, just wake up low short. Bonchan maybe was waiting for something else. Oh, he's going to be able to get the clap.
Ooh, okay. So here is what I would call the key foreshadowing moment. We have Bonchan setting up the tiger shots and then tries to, once again, claim a little bit of space with a forward dash here. Valle chooses the moment, maybe just looking for another fireball. Goes for the clap and catches Bonchan in the forward dash. Combos into clap 2. And Hugo has some options to finish here. Something like jab lariat for the knockdown, a little bit of extra damage. Instead, he leaves Bonchan standing here, lets the combo drop, and we see him bounce up and down here a little bit. So this is Valle inputting Hugo's Ultra 2. And what he's looking for is any sort of animation of Bonchan leaving the ground. However, Bonchan just backdashes instead here, and Valle does not input the attack button to initiate the ultra. There's that stand around house, the God button. Stand fierce is also a good one.
Issues completing these Hugo combos, but he's still playing strong nonetheless.
Still in there. Oh, great.
Ooh, yeah, that was a nice interruption here. On the slow startup of the EX clap, Bonchan interrupts the clap with crouch jab, fireball, FADC into jab, uppercut, which I'm sure would work on in most situations. This is a combo he's done thousands of times, I am sure. However, Hugo, being one of the sort of quirky characters introduced in the Ultra version, we can see that his hurtbox reels back a lot here. Probably a lot further than intended, a lot further than the rest of the characters in the cast. And so Bonchan's uppercut just whiffs here. Valle is not ready. He was also expecting to get comboed here, I'm sure, and is not ready for a big punish, just gets a few jabs.
It's a problem, and Valle with a very low punish, very small punish.
No way he expected that.
Yeah.
He was just not ready.
He could have gotten the wall throw into
But Valle has walked him back into the corner once again and closes it out with one of Hugo's many overheads, the stand around house, which has an armor property to it, as you can see. And Valle takes round one.
Alex Valle, first round.
Ooh, wow.
Crouch short lariat. Lariat would be unsafe there, but I think it was probably spaced out enough that even on block, Bonchan wouldn't have been able to do anything. This is kind of crazy. I think Bonchan right here is looking for... well, he sees Valle neutral jump over a fireball. He's maybe reading that Valle is reading fireball again and will jump forward. And so Bonchan is looking for, again, any sort of animation of Hugo leaving the ground. And he technically does here with the hop knee, which is probably meant to, it's meant to move Hugo forward a little bit and potentially bait things kind of like this. But Bonchan is, just looking for something exactly like this and is therefore able to react to it in time with the uppercut.
Uppercut over to beat that knee. Valle was anticipating another fireball.
Let's jump in.
Oh, got the counter hit off of it. Not that time though. Not
And
gonna
Valle has
combo
once
that
again
situation.
walked
And again, that's
Bonchan all the way into the
Mauling
corner.
him with this Hugo.
Ooh,
He doesn't have to do anything,
the
but he wants to
overhead.
finish him.
watch out for that over. You see, Bonchan has got him.
All right, Bonchan gets chooses the moment here, is looking for Valle to overcommit to something a little bit, chooses the moment to uppercut FADC again here into the Ultra this time, which will push him all the way out of the corner. And we are very close to this round. Valle is full screen once again, but very patiently and very successfully walking Bonchan into the corner consistently. All right, this EX Lariat is probably meant to just be a chip out. Had Bonchan landed here with EX Uppercut, he probably would have been able to blow through it, but on hit or block, this was going to kill Sagat. So, not a bad option from Valle there. And he takes game one.
The old man still got it in him. Alex Valle taking the first game off of Bonchan. Bonchan now looking at his notes for Hugo strats, and he's like,
doesn't matter.
I don't have any
It
Hugo
doesn't
strats
matter.
in here.
It doesn't matter. Valle.
All right, game two.
It doesn't really matter what
Yeah, this is certainly a crazy looking interaction here. We see the fight disappear, and frame one, Valle is inputting the meat squasher here. Bonchan chooses to be a little safer. He walks back a couple steps here before inputting the fireball, but those extra frames of him walking back are just enough time, give Hugo just enough time to run across the screen And right here is where the grab portion of the attack is initiated, which leaves both characters in an invincible state. And so it's kind of just a quirky looking visual interaction here of the fireball being technically on screen and inside of Hugo, but unable to hit him.
It doesn't really matter what your notes say. It doesn't matter what your notes say, James. It's
Another one of Hugo's many overheads. There's the third one. There's the stand fierce again.
You better just knuckle down.
And all right, so Bonchan has been doing these, jump in roundhouse, neutral jumps, looking to bait the SPD, the two-frame command grab, which Valle has not input once so far in this match. And he does once again go for the crouch tech here, but he is also very clearly looking for the neutral jump this time and is therefore able to react with the EX ground air command grab.
Down and fight. All you can do is fight now, Bonchan.
Bonchan jumping back, obviously still looking for command grab, very scared of it. That was a really nice timing on the jump here, just threading the needle, getting over the fireball, just committing to a jab, and then he lands and has just enough time to block the roundhouse here. So good way to get through there. Bonchan whiff punishes with DP there. Bonchan's Valle's timings on the claps to nullify fireballs have been really fantastic too. Not as easy as it looks.
But those claps have just been really hurting Bonchan.
And closes it out with the extremely far-reaching stand medium punch there. And Valle goes up to match point.
He just reached out and grabbed it.
He has it. Bonchan is fighting for it all right now.
Nice plus tiger knee there. Roundhouse, why not?
He's rushing him down. It's Alex Valle and in full
the combo does connect this time. Valle once again reacts with the anti-air command grab, and then sets up what I would call Hugo's version of a safe jump. Rather than jumping in the air and landing with an air normal that is safe to a reversal, Hugo is able to do a meaty palm clap here, which you can see the startup of uppercut right here, just as the final frames of the clap are still on screen. If Bonchan were just blocking, if he were blocking, he would block. If he had input a normal or something, he would get hit. And if he does an invincible reversal like this, he does not get hit by the clap, but Valle still has enough time before the uppercut comes out. I believe Sagat had a 5-frame uppercut in this version. Has just enough time to recover safely. And what's the combo? Triple clap jab. And much more importantly than ending on something like the lariat for a little extra damage and knockdown, he successfully makes Bonchan panic once again with uppercut FADC, and therefore takes away two bars down the bottom left there of Bonchan's super meter. Arguably much more important that he successfully baits that out, as Bonchan no longer has access to a safe invincible reversal.
He read that and he takes the meter as well, Alex Valle.
Another palm clap, and here we go, the big moment. Valle goes for EX palm clap this time. Once again, has other ways he could choose to continue this combo, even from a far range like this. Instead goes for dash up, and Bonchan, he still hasn't seen Valle input command grab once here, and just still feels that it's coming. Does not have the invincible reversal to safely cover more options, and so has to commit to the jump back. And Valle, once again, like we saw earlier, was probably buffering Ultra 2 during that dash forward, sees Bonchan leave the ground, and completes the input.
Give him another hand. Oh my!
Is this not going to be enough quite yet?
Not
But
quite
he's
gonna
right
kill,
there.
but
That's the follow-up, and it just
closes it out
has him.
with the
Alex
overhead.
Valle sending Bonchan in the loser's bracket. Alex
My
Valle.
God!
Alright, that's going to do it for this one. Like and subscribe, but more importantly, let me know if there was anything else from this match that you think I missed. And let me know what other matches you'd like to see me cover. Thank you so much for watching.